Hello internets, this is BoneCarlos coming to you live from Ohana to bring you another StarCraft 2 commentary. The players today are going to be Blackstripes, spawning as the Red Zerg. If you don't know who Blackstripes is, you should definitely look into him because he is the man that revolutionized the metagame in PvZ. This is a PvZ, obviously, by making a build order that goes 6 pool into 4 gate. It's fantastic, it's awesome, it's used around the world by nobody because it's impossible to do that. His opponent is going to be Ember, spawning as the Red Protoss. Both these players are mid-diamond level players. Ember obviously is very confused with his colors. Ember is usually red, but he is blue today. What's up with that? He is going to go ahead and put off his front pylon at the start of the ramp, so coming into this game is going to be a Forge Fast Expand. Blackstripes doing a little bit of an extracted trick, giving himself an extra drone right off the bat. He's going to go ahead and scout off with his initial scouting overlord, and not even pushing out with a single drone, but a probe from Ember, blue by the way, not red, is going to go ahead and scout around the map and check things here and there everywhere. Going to go ahead and nibble away at this mineral field, and this is just basically going to go ahead and keep drones from mining here for, I don't know, a split second or two. But since this is a very pro level maneuver, I doubt it's going to do anything at the diamond level that these players are. Spawning pool already down for Blackstripes, and the Ember is just going to go ahead and start churning out his probes. Going to do that funky thing, very normal. And while he was doing all that cheeky shenanigans with trying to nibble away at this mineral field, trying to zap away here, trying to, you know, micro here, micro there, he geared up and got 400 minerals. Hasn't even put down a forge, hasn't put down an extra pylon yet. He is already supply blocked after this probe jumps out, and he's just going to go ahead and go straight for a Nexus. This might come back and bite him, especially if Blackstripes recognizes this. If he sees this, and with his overlord, not sure if he's going to scout it just yet. Nope, he's just going around the map. That's not me moving, that's him doing it all on his own. He hasn't scouted this just yet, so if he did scout this, if he saw this, if he noticed it, he would just go ahead and put out 2, 3, 4, maybe even 6 Zerglings, using up 2, 3, 4, 5, 17, 1800 larvae to mass produce those Zerglings and just float on by, because there is a forge going down, there is a gateway going down. Cannon's going to go back here, but it's going to be very too little too late. But he's playing very standard. He is just assuming that the Forge Fast Expand was very standard as it was with the Forge, with a cannon, and then a Nexus, especially since his probe is over here putting down a pylon block at the natural expansion. He already has his third hatchery, or third as a natural expansion, second expansion as a third, whichever one you choose to use. Already has that down, already 75% done, and his overlord just hanging around the top, just pretty much seeing nothing whatsoever. He sees a double assimilator, he already knows everything standard. By the time he puts the overlord over here, he's not going to expect much because it's now quote-unquote standard. Ember just did the natural thing by putting up, or Ember is at a natural state of things, but by putting up this Nexus first. But since he was supply block for quite a bit, he doesn't have that probe count that you really should have at the time. Right now he has 20. If you would have put down a... Ooh. This could be trouble. This could be bad. Oh no. Already 2 workers killed by Ember, and these Zerglings are going to do quite a bit of harassment for a long time. The Zealot here is going to go ahead and start shooing these away, going to start nibbling away, slicing, dicing, cutting up these Zerglings, but still mining time is going to be lost. We're going to try to get a surround sound on that Zealot to give himself the maximum amount of base, maximum amount of dud step, zoom, zin, 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 zin. But now those Zerglings are pretty much dead. All of them are down, and only 2 workers were killed. Not that great of a play by Ember, or by Blackstripes. And oh, does he know this is there? He doesn't know it's there. This could be very dangerous, and this hatchery might actually go down. Not sure if these are going to be in range. but Ember's going to go ahead and put down a couple of pylons there to keep this probe alive and putting down cannons willy-nilly. Finally, Blackstripes does spot this and pulls off his drones. This is going to go ahead and push forward and attack this hatchery. More than likely going to nibble away here, slice and dice and cut up this building here, and then retreat back to these photon cannons if Zerglings do pose a problem, or maybe even roaches. But this hatchery is definitely not safe. Ember doesn't know what to do just yet. He's going to go ahead and just scatter and finally start attacking the Zealot. I would actually like for him to put the Zealot back here in this back corner to bounce, poke, and prod back and forth between that cannon. And Blackstripes is not sure exactly what he's going to do at the moment. In production, he's going to go ahead and put down, he's going to go ahead and putting up a lair. Doesn't have a roach warren. He does have a roach warren up. He does have a double extractor at his main base, none at his natural expansion, and he doesn't have a macro queen just yet. So no massive amounts of creep threat, and this Zealot is going to go to town. And if I were Blackstripes, I would actually do something about this. He is churning out 4 roaches, but they might not be there in time. I would actually try to use a queen to maybe keep actually 2 roaches finally do pop, and Ember is going to might lose this Zealot. Nope, it's going to go ahead and retreat back to the safety of these photon cannons. This Stalker is going to go ahead and try to reinforce his Zealot buddy, and now the warping has occurred. 1 warp gate, 2 gateways are on the field, nothing else for Ember. So Ember is doing very nice harassment, very nice micro, but he's falling behind on his macro. That is a-okay because he's going to go ahead and take down this hatchery. 10 more roaches are being produced, and 10 roaches might be able to take down this, but at significant losses. There goes the hatchery. Now Blackstripes is supply blocked since hatcheries bases do give yourself food. Nice unit placement by Ember to minimize the damage that those Broodlings did. And now a little bit of a hurt, a little bit of a bother. Blackstripes doesn't know what to do. Ember is not capitalizing on his opponent's loss of life or loss of hatchery. If I were him, this Destructible Rocks would have been down a long time ago. This Nexus would have been up, and maybe even this as well, since you have quite a bit of an economic advantage at the moment. So why not bolster it by giving up a couple of more expansions of your own? Maybe do some poking and prodding, keeping your opponent pinned with some sentries here, making sure that these roaches do not come out, but they do. And Ember pretty much just went and headed on home. He pulled back his 4 stalkers that he have along with that single Zealot. Sentries there are for defense, just in case pretty much Blackstripes decided to just massively go all in with his units. Now that Blackstripes sees that it's only photon cannons, he's going to go ahead and push forward. A couple of volleys do destroy these photon cannons, and now that's it for these pylons. But they did definitely pay themselves off in the mineral work by taking down this hatchery. It was 300, 400, 500 minerals. These hatcheries are worth, what, 300? So I would say that mineral resource losses wasn't insane, but the mining time, the macro, is definitely worth it. Looks like Ember is going to go ahead and gear up to put himself and grab his 3rd base, but look at the food count. 87 for Ember, 98 for Blackstripes. So definitely didn't fall behind too much on the macro side of things. He has a nice army of roaches, decent Zergling backup, and they're going to go ahead and stream across the map and see what damage they can do. While Ember is just starting to take down his Destructible Rocks, and go ahead and put down a couple of photon cannons here for defending this 3rd Nexus, but the Zerglings are there. They're going to go ahead and surround them, not even going to give those photon cannons time to go up. One is recalled, so he does save himself quite a bit of minerals, but the other one was taken down instantly, and now Ember is very much hurting. This is what happens when you focus way too much on the micro, on the harassment, and not macro up. I mean, look at the food count. It's plus 24 for Blackstripes at the moment. Fresh Warpin does bring that number up just a little bit for Ember, but now I would say the lead is definitely in Blackstripes' favor. He does have a nice army at the front. He's going to go ahead and take the vision. He knows exactly what's going on. There's not going to be any kind of sneaky shenanigans. He knows there's no 3rd. He knows there isn't anything crazy like Colossus tech, because Ember would have attacked at that moment. So there's just a couple of Immortals and mostly gateway units. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gateways, and a single Zergling is going to go ahead and poke around and going to go ahead and push forward and see there are no Colossus, pure Immortal and Stalker, so he's feeling very secure. 3 more gateways are going down, but these three gateways should have been done a long time ago, and honestly they should have been done when this hatchery first came out. And look at this. Very great play by Blackstripes. I love what he's doing. He's going to go ahead and build himself a nice creep highway. And he's just going to go ahead and spread his vision even more. Especially now since he doesn't really have anything else to lose at this point. He has 158 supply cap maximum at the moment. He's going to go ahead and vomit that larva. And Embers finally feels very secure in finally being putting up his third base. But at the same time, Blackstripe already has his up and running. Going to go ahead and put down an infestation pit. He is a bit delayed, a bit behind on his tech, but that's just because he did lose that third hatchery, whereas Ember really has no excuses other than the fact that his game did slip just a bit. Blackstripe's going to go ahead and poke and prod. Blink is revealed, so Blackstripes knows that it is on the field, and really it didn't really cost him a bit. More than likely just cost him a few health on those overlords, but that's okay. They do regenerate. Ember does have a photon cannon back here for defense, so good for him. While Blackstripe's putting down another overlord at the third or fourth expansion, I would say, possibility, and the fifth expansion possibility for Ember. So even if these overlords are killed immediately, this creep takes quite a while for it to go down. So Blackstripes is spreading his creep, spreading his influence around the map along with his vision, and now a warp prism is on the field, but these overlords do spot it, and now is the time Blackstripes to carry these home. This overlord will go down very, very quickly. 101 attack and armor upgrades for Ember. A couple of Zergs are going to push forward. Nice force fields do block off this small force of roaches, but it looks like Blackstripes doesn't even care. He's going to go ahead and attack, swing around, and attack this third base. Or is just going to hug this little outcropping of rocks. Ember's army is out of position. This Nexus will go down, but at what cost though? Ember is definitely going to go ahead and be able to bring down this Nexus, but he's going to go ahead and pin himself back up against the wall. And he's going to go ahead and attack this second natural expansion. One force field goes down, this force field is completely whipped. That is blocking nothing. Blackstripe's going to go ahead and push forward, push back, push forward, and finally start focusing firing down. This Nexus takes down the natural expansion. He's going to go ahead and scream forward straight into the main base and attack the main base of Ember. Not sure if it's going to be able to go down. Two volleys just bring down the shield. The third volley brings it down to 75% health alongside with these overlords. He's going to go ahead and fly by and view the action, the carnage, the destruction. Bullshit, says Ember. Bullshit, I would say, on this force field that you completely missed, because you got one here, and about a minute later you put one here. If you would have put one here, one here, one here, you would have been A-okay, especially since both of those sentries had enough energy to put down 3 force fields. And look at this. The overlords pick up the roaches and head on home. Sickest pally ever. Nope, says Ember, but I would have to agree with Blackstripes. These stalkers are going to go ahead and blink forward and going to try to pick off these overlords. 1 does go down, 4 roaches go down, 3 more do not go down. Finally, Blackstripes decides to unload them, starts pulling out, vomiting that creep, and is going to go ahead and give chase with his roach army and push forward into the pure stalker immortal, and he sees those immortal and another force field just in case. Blink forward does manage to keep and pick off a couple of these roaches that are retreating back home, and for the sake of being, go ahead and volley fire down some of these destructible rocks. Another force field just in case. 2 force fields actually finally managed to put down those force fields exactly where you want. Pick off and block off this ramp. This third base is going to go down yet again for Blackstripes. Infestation pit goes down. The drones finally do manage to get home and slip on by since those force fields go down, and now Ember is forced to go on home. And Ember, I don't think, can build another Nexus. Actually, he did. He built another Nexus at his natural expansion, built his main expansion back up. He has Colossus Tech on the way, but that's going to be far away from being able to be used anytime soon. Blackstripes is supply blocked yet again. But he has himself quite a bit of roach army, quite a bit of infestors. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 infestors. When a nice gaggle of roaches. Going to go ahead and pick off these leftover zealots, while at the same time I'm just going to go ahead and scatter around the map, see if he can pick off any overlords he sees. But they are all gone. They are returned back home. And now the mining has commenced. Looking at the income tab, we see 41 harvesters for Blackstripes, 51 for Ember, but that delayed mining time pretty much got Ember into the low tier of the economic stature. He is very broke compared to his Zerg buddy, even though the base count is the same. See, a warp prism is going to go ahead and hang around, just cruise on by. cruise on by. Fungal growth locks it into place. Couple of corruptors are gonna go ahead and take care of it. And Brood Lords are on the way, while a third and fourth base are being built by Blackstripes. So now it comes down to 2 bases, 3 bases are being built up against 1, 2, 3, 4 in about a few minutes. So once this one gets finished up, this third and fourth for Blackstripes will be finished up. Now the tech is definitely in the advantage of Blackstripes. He has 3 Broodlords, 4 are gonna morph in a couple of seconds. Roaches, Infestors, exactly what Blackstripes wants. While Ember is still stuck on Stalker and Immortal tech. He has Zealots there to back him up in just a couple of sentries. He does have Blink, so if Blackstripes isn't careful, he might lose all of these Broodlords very, very quickly, very, very easily. But there isn't no Colossus there to back it up. Extended Thermal Lance is on the way. A single Colossi is going to pop. These Stalkers managed to get on by. They're going to go ahead and pick off a single Zergling, but at the cost of a single Stalker. Not a very economic trade, Ember, but that's a-okay. He did manage to save 4 of the 5, and he just stops, blinks away, gets nibbles away, and the main army from Ember is there to reinforce. And now Blackstripes decides to pull away. Right now he's just buying himself time, trying to get his 3rd and 4th base up and running yet again to give himself back that economic advantage. 7 Corruptors are on the field. Plenty of Vesp. Well, actually, no, not really. He doesn't have enough minerals, doesn't have enough Vespin to turn those into Corruptors or into Broodlords just yet. But since Colossi are on the field, 7 Colossi or 7 Corruptors are going to take down a Colossi in pretty much a single volley. They have 350 health. These Corruptors, where are they? 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 Where are those Corruptors? There they are. They do 20 damage per shot. So what's that times 7? 7 Corruptors, 20, 140. So in one volley, it'll pretty much bring down this Colossi down to about half health. But no worries, since these Corruptors are going to be turned into Corruptors. And now Blackstripes is nearing, actually both of these players are 183, 180 food, so they're pretty much both at around the same food supply, but I will still give the advantage definitely to Blackstripes with these Broodlords there to back up his mainly Roach army with a few Infestors. Right now, it looks like Ember doesn't have that many Colossi. He only has 1 Colossi, a couple of High Templar, or actually plenty of High Templar are there on the field. No Psionic Storm just yet. Has it not been researched? No, it has definitely not been researched at the moment. No, it looks like he's not even gearing up to try to research that. And I would actually try to get that up as soon as possible. But he's turning out those Colossi. He's putting down another Dark Shrine. So High Templar, Dark Templar are going to be on the field very soon for Ember. Not sure exactly where he's going to go with that play or state of game, as it were. Both players are just going to go ahead and maxing out. And Ember should have been doing some kind of harassment. He finally does. He finally begins it, but too little, too late. These Zealots are going to be able to bring it down very quickly. They have +2 attack. And it looks like Blackstripes isn't even worried. He's going to go ahead and keep his army at the middle of the base. He's going to send a small amount of roaches to deal with it. That hatchery is going to go down, but he wasn't fooled for 1 second. He didn't move his entire army there to attack. So he is a-okay. He's sending 1 Broodlord back to defend this 3rd base, since that Warp Prism does have plus speed. And Ember is going to go ahead and back himself into the corner along this side, while at the same time this Warp Prism is just going to go ahead and hang out. As the observer going to go ahead and spot to see exactly where the army of Blackstripes is. An observer is observed with this fungal growth. A couple of fungal growths, 3 fungal growths do finally bring it down, and finally here it comes. Blink forward by these Stalkers. Going to go ahead and pinpoint exactly where the army of Ember is. Everything is on the field. Roaches there. Stalkers do blink forward into the massive Broodlord count, but they do not focus fire down any of the Broodlords. Force fields do keep most of the roaches at bay, but the damage is being done by these Broodlords. Already have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 kills per, and the army of Ember was just too high. There wasn't enough Colossi there to be able to bring down all of these Broodlings, and the Stalkers weren't there to focus fire down these Broodlords. There was just too many Broodlords. There is now up to, what, 14 Broodlords? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 Broodlords there for Ember, and Blackstripes is just, well, I mean, he's having a great time. It's a little bit BM. In my opinion, you have the advantage. You have the win. Definitely don't rub it in just a little bit. Out of everything that you've done so far, that is the one thing that I did not enjoy. Even though I am a Brotoss at heart, still, BM is a no-no. Ember's going to go ahead and pull off his pros, try to do some sort of damage, but nope, it's too little, too late. The Brewlord count is just too high. Archons aren't there. There is no Mothership, no chance for an Archon toilet. This is just bad news. The count for Ember is 93. Blackstripes is at 198. Third Nexus does go down. The main is mined out, as is the natural. There is no hope for Ember. I do not see him coming back from this. A couple of suckers do playing forward to go into their demise. These Brews are just going to go ahead and splatter all over the ramp. Blah, there they go. Blah, blah, blah. Blackstripes going to go ahead and push forward with this 200 max food army while long distance mining here and there. A couple of zealots are going to warp in at the main base of Blackstripes, but I wouldn't even be too worried about that. He's going to go ahead and pull his army back to deal with it. This hive actually might go down. The roaches aren't going to get there in time, but roaches are there to try to pick these up. Transfuses do give life to the hive. Transfuses like crazy, actually. 3 or 4 transfusions were done to save this hive, so Blackstripes is going to go ahead and keep his hive tag. The Greater Spire is still there, nothing else there. Warp Prism is going to go ahead, is still actually at the natural expansion, so these harassments can buy himself some time to try to claw his way back, but without a third, I don't see it happening. I mean, if Ember hadn't have lost his third, and if he continued this harassment this entire game, the entire game might be a different outcome. If after he lost both of his nexuses, or all 3 of his next eye, if he would have continued on with the harassment at that time, he might have been able to scrape and claw his way back. But the harassment came too little, too late. Ember knows this. Ember leaves the game. So that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, leave comments down below on what I could do to make these more enjoyable for you. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here because it's a weekend for me, and I am just pumped because I am awesome. So that's it. If you guys want me to cast one of your own games, upload them to one of the major replay sites. I'll be more than happy to take care of it for you guys, and I am out.